I'm Ashton's mom, Rachel. I'll be filming his speech. This is the audience.
Hi, I'm Hallie.
Hello. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a great side. It will go good with any meal, good snack. And so yeah, today we're making fruit salsa with cinnamon chips. First, I'm going to walk you through the ingredients. So for the fruit salsa, we're going to have strawberries. It'll be good to have about a pound of strawberries. We're going to have apples. We're going to have kiwis. And then we're going to have about an 8-ounce pack of raspberries. And then to go along with that, we're going to have over here, we're going to have fruit preserves. As my fruit preserve, I'm going to be using strawberry. Then we're going to have brown sugar. We're going to have just some regular white sugar and then some cinnamon. And then as far as chips go, we're going to have tortilla wraps. We're using extra large just to make some bigger chips, and it makes more chips. And then some pan butter spray for the chips. All right, so first let's get started with the salsa. So the first thing you're going to do for the fruit salsa is you're going to want to take your pack of raspberries and you're going to want to dump them into the thing, into a drainer of any sort. You can dump them into a bowl. All that's fine. Let me put that away. And then what you want to do is turn the water on cold. And you just want to get a little bit, and you're just going to want to start washing them like this. Wash them out. You don't want to crush them, and you don't want to like spray them really hard. Just get a good little wash, move them around. And then after once you get all of them, about 15 to 30 seconds, you can turn the water off, drain them a little bit, and then you're going to put them on a napkin to let them dry. Spread them out so that they dry quicker and so that they don't smash each other. So we're just going to spread these out a little bit. All right, once those are spread out, our next fruit is going to be strawberries. Strawberry, you're going to want to just cut the top off, just like that. Then if there's a bad bottom, you cut the bad bottom off. If not, you can just keep it. So cut the top off. I'm going to cut the bad bottom off. And then for the strawberry, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to wash them. Again, you're going to need to get all around cold water. Just make sure they're good and washed. Then once you do that, back to the cutting board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in half, cut each one in half, and then I'm going to dice them. This gets the really small parts so that your strawberries will go into the salsa with all the other ones. So right here, I'm just going to dice them just like that. Make sure I have nice small parts. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to cut little strips like that, turn it around, align it up, and then just cut into little small points. So this is just going to be dicing the strawberries. This way we don't have big chunks in our salsa, and they can go well with the chips. So just like this. Once you get all of your strawberries chopped up like that, if you feel there are some bigger chunks than there need to be, then you can just go back over them again. That way you just get the size down, and they're nice little shapes like this. And then I'm going to pour them with my other strawberries. I already diced most of my strawberries, so this way it's just easier to show. Next, I'm going to cut my apples. I'm going to take my apple. First thing I'm going to do is core it. So right here, you don't want any of this stuff. So I'm going to take the edge, get inside a little bit, cut that off, boom, that's gone. Then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this apple. And I'm going to try to keep as much of the actual apple as we can and get it all the skin peeled off. Like that, that's good. All the skin's off. Then what you're gonna do, you're gonna take it just like the strawberries, you're gonna dice it. Just cut it into strips, like this. Then put it together, and then you're just gonna take your knife and just go little bitty strips back like that, back and forth like that, to get them cut up into small pieces. Now your apples are most likely gonna be a little bigger than you want, bigger chunks, so you're gonna have to just get in here and then chop them down a little more. Like that. Once you've done that, I dice the rest of my apples as well. Again, anywhere from, start with 2 apples if you're going to make more. Obviously, add more apples, you're going to want to add more fruit overall. Then we move on to kiwis. Kiwi, you're going to have to cut in half. So I already have one cut in half. Then you're going to want to get all of the skin off. This part could be a little tricky, so you just got to take your time. You just want to just be as gentle as possible so you don't crush the kiwi. And it's very slippery, so you don't want to shoot the kiwi out of your hand. Then once you have the skin peeled off just like that, you're going to want to take this and then you're going to want to cut them into strips, just like I did the apples, just like I did the strawberries. And we're going to dice them, cut these into small pieces. So I'm just going to go like this, like into that, go back over them a little bit. There's that, boom. The kiwis can go in with the rest of the kiwis. Again, 2 full kiwis should be good enough. Then what I'm going to do is, once I wash my hands, I am going to start putting everything in the same bowl. So raspberries, we can start taking these, put them in the bottom once they're nice and dry. And then once you get all the raspberries in the bottom, you're going to want to take your next fruit, the apples. Once you have to cut up apples, just dump them in like that. Then you're going to might need to scrape some of them out. Then once you take the apples, take the strawberries, dump the strawberries in. And then, once you have the strawberries in, you're going to want to dump the kiwis in. So now they're all in the same bowl. Now what I'm going to do, since they're all in the same bowl, is I'm going to move this stuff out of the way and get ready for the mixing part. Now for the mixing part, that's when I'm going to add my white sugar, brown sugar, and my fruit preserves. So I'm going to get my white sugar over here. And what you're going to do, excuse me, is you're going to take 2 tablespoons of white sugar, you're going to file it off to the top, and then you're just going to spread it around. Like that. That's 1. And then your 2nd tablespoon, white sugar, there's 2. And once you have 2 tablespoons of white sugar, then you're going to get in your brown sugar. Then you're going to need 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So you're going to fill up the tablespoon measure, wipe it off on the edge, file it off like this, and then this one's going to be a little more clumped. So you're going to just need to break that up, and then leave that. Now you're ready for mixing. Final thing you're going to add is your fruit preserves. Take your fruit preserves, and then you're going to need 3 tablespoons of these. These do not have to be filed off. They can go over the top. Just get as much. This is what's all going to bring everything together. So you dump all this in here, right there. All right, once you get everything mixed, now all you're going to do is you're just going to start mixing it up. And while you do this, you're going to want to do it slow so that nothing goes out of the bowl. And you want to just make sure you get everything mixed. Now this might take a minute or two. So I'm just going to show you guys the finished product. Follow me. Right here we have a finished bowl of fruit salsa. I'm going to open this up. Now once you mix it all together, you should start to see a little bit of liquid, all the syrup mixing together. You just get all the good flavors mixed together, and that's going to make for a really good fruit salsa dip. All right, now as I put this away, you have your fruit salsa. Then, what's better to go with your fruit salsa than cinnamon chips? So, in order to make my cinnamon chips, I'm gonna take these extra large tortillas. They don't have to be extra large. I'm gonna take my tortillas. They can be extra large. They can be any size, just some regular tortillas. Then once I put the tortillas down, I'm gonna take my spray butter. I'm gonna shake it up. I'm gonna get a good little coat over the tortilla. Then take a knife, slice it in the middle, and then you can just cut it into chips. Now, the shapes do not have to be perfect. They can be any way you like. So I'm just gonna kind of mix them up like that. All right, then once you have them mixed up, take them over, and you're going to put them in a pile. Once you have put them in a pile, I'm gonna wash my hands off, and then it is time to make the cinnamon that goes on the chips. All right, over here, I have a bowl. My bowl's right here. You're gonna need exactly 1 cup of white sugar. Take the white sugar, dump it in the bowl. Then, once you get the white sugar in the bowl, you take your cinnamon over here. This is what you're gonna add. Now, depending on how heavy you want the cinnamon taste, how much of a kick you want, can depend on how much you put in there. So I'm gonna put at least 2 tablespoons. There's 1, and then there's 2. Again, you can put a minimum of 2, you can put more in there if you would like more. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start mixing them up. What you wanna do is get it to where they're almost completely mixed up. Just like this. And then you should start to see it turn this brownish color. I'll be right back. Drink of water. All right, yeah, you should start to see it turn this brownish color where you don't have as much of the sugar and you don't have cinnamon. You now have a little mix. So you're gonna wanna stir this for a little while. All right, once you get that together, you're going to take a pan. Excuse me, so before you get ready to cook them, you want to preheat the oven. So you come over here to your oven, hit bake, and you're going to cook it for 350. So ours is already at 293 because we made a couple before this, but 350 should get them the nice solid color. Then once you get over here, you have your wrap tray. What you're going to want to do is take your sprayed and cut up tortillas and put them on here like a puzzle. Just they can't overlap because then that will mess with how the cinnamon goes on there. So I'm just going to continue to just put as many as possible. Now, depending on how many you make and depending on how many ovens you have, this could take more than one cycle. So you could have to put this more than one on. So once I have them like this, I'm gonna just make sure to fit as many as I can. All right, there's that. Now what I'm gonna do is, once you wash all the grease off from the butter, get it nice and washed off, then now's where you add the cinnamon. You take the sugar cinnamon in little handfuls like this, and you just dump it over. Just like this. You want to get a good spread between all the chips. And if you like a little more cinnamon, which means you're kind of like me, then you want to just put a little more on here. Go back over maybe a time or two. All right, So these look looking pretty good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wash my hands, get the cinnamon off, and then I'm going to respray them. This gets the cinnamon to stick, so I'm gonna do this. A nice little coat over them should be fine. So a little something like that. Once they're sprayed, they should look a little something like that. The cinnamon's really starting to stick. And then, so now you're going to want to go put them in the oven. Put them in the preheated oven. Again, the preheated oven will be at 350. And then you close them. And you're going to want to set a timer for roughly 8 to 10 minutes. 9 minutes would be a good time to put them in there for. Once they come out, let them cool. And then you're going to want to stack them like this, and they should look a little something like this. So again, you can see all the chips. You have a nice crispy chip in cinnamon. So now I'm going to have somebody try the final product and see if it's as good as it's made out to be. So if I could get my audience member to come over here and to just get a little dip. And how would you say that is?
It's really good.
Really good, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to learn how to make a really good snack that can go good with just about anything, anytime, learn how to make this fruit salsa in cinnamon shapes. Thank you very much.